Is it live? Yeah, it looks live. Good. Yeah. Pop out the chat. Duke says, how do these lives work? You just show up and you can like ask me questions or whatever. I just am here, and usually people ask me questions, or like the point of the member lives is you don't have 1,000 people in them all sending me $50. So you can just talk to me. Did I buy a workout bench? Yeah. It was really cheap. I think it was from Target or something. The video with the hands was amazing. How do I do it? I mean, I don't really know. I just I watch what people are doing and I know what they're feeling and thinking when they do it. It's very difficult to explain. How do I know what they're feeling and thinking? Some of it's experience and some of it's just like studying language and behavior and knowing what people are like. Diana, hi. When you draw, why do you draw on a wooden table when so many women want to be a human table? Oh, I don't have any room for a woman table in my apartment. I can't be just adding tables to this mess. It's already a mess in here. What can you teach us about fitness routines? Not much. Like I'm not a fitness expert. I know about it, but like all I really do is I get high intensity cardio. I do the HIIT, high intensity interval training. And then I used to do a 3-day split. Now I do a 2-day split. I used to do chest, shoulders, back. And now I just do chest, shoulders, and back. I don't know. I'm not like, I don't have a degree in isometric exercise or something. This is not members only? It should be members only. This should be members only. How's it not members only? I scheduled a members only. Hate cardio. Yeah, well, you gotta find cardio that you, well, back is legs. Someone says skipped legs day. It's back is legs. It's, squats, deadlifts, one leg squats, good mornings, pull-ups, curls. It's that sort of thing. This was supposed to be a members live. Sorry, members. You have to tolerate the non-members this week. We did a non-members live last week. Maybe I'll do members after a little while. Do you use compression shorts? No, I just use the same shorts I sleep in. Jeffrey, welcome to HM Live 1. $1 a month gets you the member lives, which this is supposed to be one of, but I'll set them up more carefully next time. Canadian and 2 Porta member. It's only $1. I really only make them because people always unsubscribe when I do these lives. Like, I usually lose between 2 and 20 subscribers because most people don't like the lives. The people who do like them a lot. Anything big in the works? Yeah, just a lot of videos. Like, I'm really just going to sit down and just focus on making lots of videos soon, especially the levels ones. I'm talking to somebody about doing one of those next week. And people asked me about the high levels. So I'm going to do a quick video on that, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, on what the high levels are like and why you should not worry about it. Whenever people learn about levels, they all just go, oh, I want to be the top one. And that's not going to do anything for you. It's not helpful. Ken, welcome. Trenchfoot says, I love the lives. Well, you remember. Ow. I'm going to close my drawers. What advice would you give to a 30-year-old NEET? Well, that's a pretty vague question. What's your name? Billy? But you have to do something that makes people value you. You know, like being a man, you can't just stand around and have people go, I love you. You have to do something that makes people glad to have you around. They have to be impressed with you, or they have to rely on you, or they have to need you for something. Women want a guy who makes them feel good. They want to be attracted to him. They want him to be good to look at. They want to feel safe with him. They want to feel like he's going somewhere. That's what I use this symbol for all the time. This is the going somewhere symbol. This is the I'm doing something with my life symbol. It's like if you go get exercise, you'll be a little bit more fit tomorrow than you are today. That's going somewhere. If you go get a job and make some money, you're going somewhere. So if you're a 30-year-old NEET, you have to do something that makes people glad to see you, and then eventually you charge money for it, you get a relationship from it, all that kind of stuff. All right, here come the paid questions since I forgot to make this a members live. Don't hate the flare. Oh, I got several members. Who's this other one? Savage Dogs, welcome. All right, let's go to the fan funding. Oh my God, I got a lot of them. A ton of people subscribed. Was this all today? Haxaring, Christian, Gigi, Sunbeach, Noah, Patrick, Augustine, Aditya. I've met an Aditya before. Shake Shack, G-Funk Daddy, Lucid Poet, Booney, Random Subscriber. That's pretty cool. Vendor Boy, Mhaif, Legion of Doom, Nate Musser, Mac, James Hall, JS, Gil Richter, Stephen H, Nigel 5000. These are like all today apparently. Just super curious. Aaron Rolls, Haterade, Bino, General Gao, Mel Isha, Spud Gaming, Bring the Snark, Roger Penrose, I think I know that name, Dakota, Albert, Dalton, Cascadian Cowboy, Gary Newton, Prawn Michaels. There's too many of you. Spencer, A, Tio, James, Aaron, Andre twice? Oh, he subscribed and then upgraded. Cool. If you subscribe to Double Plus, what I do when I make a video is I have a menu on the side of my, like, here's all my videos. And there's a menu on the side, and one of them says Community. And I click on that, and then I filter for HM Double Plus. And then I answer your comments first, so you get more direct exposure to me and the things that I say. This went well. I got like 50 subscribers. Men's Nova, member for 2 months. Jeffrey Murphy, Dan, CNC9. Okay. Don't hate the flare, hate the game. Says, you've said you're old and past it. Orion Terabin says a man shouldn't consider settling down till 35 and is around his prime at 40. Why do you disagree? Because women don't look at me the same way that they used to. When I was younger and felt better and stuff, women would look at me with the special eyes. And I don't really get that so much anymore. Maybe Orion has never had that. Maybe. I mean, he's not an ugly guy, but I wonder if he's ever had women look at him with the eyebrows like that. oh, it's so good to look at you, you know? Like once you've had that and then later you date women and they kind of are just like, yeah, you're nice, like that. It just doesn't hit the same. Yes, this is a nice relationship. It's like when this runs out, it's like, life change, era over. I think men should settle down when they're stable and when they found someone who, like, if you're a 24-year-old guy and you have a 24-year-old girlfriend and she's really reliable and she's not like these other girls who are just like, when are you getting me more things? Then we're not married yet, so I'm going out with my girls. Like, if you get a good one, I wouldn't agree that you necessarily should wait till 35. So that's why I disagree. I always wanted to, at about 26, I always wanted to meet someone who had big heart feelings for me and then keep her. And now I'm older and like I'm not a disaster or anything, but I just get like 95% less of this and, more of this. Like women are coming to me now for fame and money and I don't like it. I liked it when they looked at me and did that. I wanted to keep one of the ones that felt that way, and now there are fewer of them. Sad. Men's Nova says, what do you think about the LA riots? I loved your short you just posted about the table. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm going to do a lot more shorts now. I just got caught up. So I'm finally like able to crank out content. And I'm going to make a ton of little shorts. And I'm going to do a bunch of long shorts. They have to be at least 8 minutes long now for me to make good money on YouTube. Like there's shorts and then there's 8 minutes is long shorts. And then 10 and above is like something I would put an ad in. So I have to rethink my whole strategy now. I'm going to start doing TikToks again, see if I can get money from that. TikTok is very iffy. It fluctuates a lot. Like when I post a video on YouTube, it usually makes money like this. Like it'll start really fast and then it'll kind of go slow over time. And then with one video, with the levels video, it was like a year later, it experienced like someone must have played it on their podcast or something and it went whoop, and it made more. So like that's dollars over time. But most of the videos go like this. They just like, I make most of the money within the first week or two, and then it kind of stays like that and goes up very slow over time. With TikTok, you can make consistent quality content and your money can go like this. Very inconsistent. So I haven't been focusing on it. That and they unfollow people from me. Like I hit my subscriber limit and now they unfollow everyone who follows me. They want me cut off at 600,000. And that's not good. What do I think about the LA riots? I think this stuff is going to keep happening as long as we tolerate it. We need to like let our cops just bust heads. A lot of these people should not be in the country, and we should not extend hospitality to people who don't belong here. Like we have to keep our country safe. Los Angeles was a great city. It's a hellhole now. All of our cities were great. San Francisco, Seattle, they're horrible now. I can't live in cities because they're not cleaning them up. These people should not be treated like they matter. They're awful. They're throwing a fit about immigration, getting rid of illegal immigrants. You're telling us we can't enforce our own laws? Get out. Throw them out on their necks. Davey Dude says, what's your thoughts on 41-year-old TRT? Tired of being thin, fast metabolism. I don't know much about it. I'm not giving medical advice on TRT. For everyone else's testosterone replacement. I might do it. I mean, I'm getting old. I don't know when I'm going to need it. But I don't know. I've never heard anything bad about it, but I definitely can't like recommend it. I don't know anything other than what I've heard on podcasts. So unfortunately, I can't say much more than that. Consult your doctor. Paul Capistani, welcome. Oh, that's at 2 months. Cool. 10 raised tube. Says, tell us tales of growth. I don't know which tales of growth. Like, ever since I was 23, I've always made sure to grow at things. Scott Adams calls it skill stacking. I think that's his word. And, like, in early life, I went through school, 0, 40. And, in school, you learn a lot of stuff, right? And then you go to college and you learn more stuff and you become an expert. It's like 20. You become, you have specialized knowledge and everything. And then I had the bad girlfriend and everything, and she left. And at 23, I started, like, adding other skills that all come together and stack, so that I don't just know one thing, but I know it's not just like school and then my specialization in school. It's also like this thing and this thing and this thing and they all stack up and add in like a big Venn diagram of knowledge, which is, the reason that I'm able to give such engaging and interesting answers to so many different things without leaving my areas of expertise. So, yeah, growth. Like, when you get good at things, you don't really stop being good at them. I'm learning to make bread now, and it's a lot more satisfying than the bread that you buy. It's just better. It's not as, like, delicious as some of the nicer bread that I've bought, but it's better than, like, a loaf, like a grocery store loaf. And it feels much better. It feels like an energy drink when I eat it. So, always be getting better at stuff. Paul Capistani says, which aspect of the things you seem to be comfortable talking about do you think would potentially make the biggest impact on society if you were able to change most people's mind on the topic? DNA and how it works and what you can expect from, just from it in general. The blank slate, like, so I guess what I'm saying is the opposite of blank slate. -1. Understanding how your body is your mind and how the human species getting better. It's not about throwing money at the people that exist and just saying, like, we can make them better, we can improve them, but rather it's about selecting the people that prove themselves to be better and making more of them, which we're doing the opposite of right now. Like, we're taking money away from the smarter people who plan their families and just throwing it at people who reproduce quickly and things are rotting. That would make the biggest impact on society. If people could stop thinking of the mind as a ghost that you can plug in to a different body. Like, people think Freaky Friday was a documentary. Like, you can just leave your body and go into your mother's body, and the thing you are is just a ghost that gets sucked out of a body and then goes into another one. That's not true. Your mind is your body, and you can't put different minds in a body because your mind is what your brain does. And if people could stop saying stupid things like, well, maybe we'll take these people who are, on the lower end of the bell curve, maybe we'll take them and just put more money in them and then they'll get better. It doesn't work that way. You just make more of them. You make more of the people who are not smart. That's the biggest impact. If people could understand that. Enrique Sousa, I had a fight with my mom. She basically invited my ex to my house. Yeah, that was a bad move. You don't talk to your mother, right? Don't you think about her dying soon? I'm not worried about it. I'm very detached from her. Um, I didn't have a great childhood, and then she said she was sorry, but then kept doing all the same stuff. And she just keeps, like, whenever I get close to her, enough that she can have any control over anything, she always damages me. So I'm just not going to do it again. I'm not worried about it at all. I don't care. Sorry about your mom inviting your ex to your house. That sounds stupid. It sounds kind of like what my mother does. Like, was she trying to make a decision for you and just say, I think you should be around this person even though you didn't want to? That's kind of the reason that I'm not answering the phone. But no, I'm not worried about it. J.R.R. Thompson says, this past Sunday, my pastor talked about how to have a healthy relationship from a biblical perspective. Very insightful. I'll email you the link. Cool. Yeah, the Bible is just eternally difficult to understand. Again, people will read the words and then they have an idea and they think, most people, is like by far most people, even educated ones, they think that the idea is in the words. They think, okay, I have read the words, so I know what the words mean, but the idea is actually in the mind. And you have to always be doubting what your mind is telling you. They say, don't believe everything you believe. Like, you have to always be thinking that maybe your mind is generating beliefs that are not accurate or not helpful. Otherwise, you just, like, you read a word and you think it means something and then you just stay wrong for the rest of your life when someone gives you an alternative, interpretation. Cool, I'll look for that link. Lucas Lee says, why do I keep catching myself reminiscing on the good stuff about a relationship that ended 2 years ago when I know it did not work? How to stop? Get a new relationship or just begin doing something that replaces it. If you're still like alone, then you just want to feel good. Like, everything is brain chemicals. Everything about your consciousness, everything about your conscious experience comes from physical matter. Your brain is a chunk of matter that feels things. And once you have had an experience, like a relationship that had good parts in it, then you're going to always remember how that felt and want it back. And I do that too. But you just have to, like, struggle with it and say, well, there's a reason it ended. Remind yourself of that. Like, it really helps to remember the bad parts. I had a relationship last year, you might remember. It was brief, but I had to try it because she was pretty cool. I couldn't just say, it was kind of a now or never thing. And I couldn't just say no because I doubt that I'm going to meet anybody quite that interesting again. So sometimes I think about, like, well, that's, been over for a year, but there were parts about it that were nice. And then I just think about the parts that were not that nice, like when she was getting pushy about where we're going to live, and she tried to play dress up with me, and I said, I will wear this and I will not wear that. And, there was a couple of things she wouldn't let go of. I just remember the parts that were not good, And it can, like, numb the pain. But yeah, if you lock a dog in a cage, it'll get upset. There's nothing wrong with the dog. It's supposed to be around people. Humans, we we forget, especially in the modern world, we forget that we're like that too. You're not supposed to be alone. So it's normal to feel that. And if you don't have people to be around, then you need to, either be working on that or at least like remember when you did. Are these the same color? Almost. So you either got to have people to be around or you have to hack your brain and make yourself feel like you do. Johnny D, if humans hatched from eggs, what do you think our laws would be like, and what do you think their excuses for destroying fertilized eggs would be? We would be a different kind of species if that was true. We wouldn't think the same way or feel the same emotions. And I don't think that we would worry about it as much. I think if that was how things worked, then people would be a lot less squeamish about it. And people would just kind of say, like, you can't have every egg becomes a person. Can't have all of them. So, like, as long as the math is working out, don't worry about it. I think people would be a lot less emotional about it. Because, the idea of killing a child that's growing in a body is way more emotional. If it's just in an egg, it's kind of like, well, it's over there, I think we would be less emotional about it. Thomas Sowell warns us that wealth transfers distorts and destroys an economy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I talk about that all the time. People don't like being this guy. No one wants to be this guy. And like, no matter how hard you work, they take a huge chunk of it away. You guys would cry if you saw how much I pay in taxes. And they just go, we're going to spend it on crap you hate and give it to this girl who thinks that you're a loser now. I've got all your money, so now you're ugly. Of course, it destroys everything. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Kane Walker, hi. Me and my little mind, hi. Thanks for joining. Kyle Smith, do you ever wonder about what things you're wrong about? No. Since we're all wrong about some things, but we don't know which things those are, how do you reconcile this? I don't talk when I don't know what I'm talking about. If I'm ever talking about something that I'm not sure of, I will just say I'm not sure of this. So it's not like it's not like right and wrong. And it's like well, I was here and then here and then here and then here and then here. It's like this. Right, wrong. It's like that. So I just know where I am, and if I am very, very sure of something, I will just say it. And then if there's a part of it that I don't know about, I'll go, I don't know how people do this, and I've heard of this once, but the way that this works is here. I just don't, I don't have an opinion on everything. People often ask me for my opinions on things like economics or the job market or someone asked me about workout routines today, and I just go, well, I don't, I can only tell you that my knowledge about workout routines is somewhere in there. So I go, well, I can only tell you these things. I can only tell you what I do. I can't tell you. Like that's how I reconcile it. It's not really reconciling at all. I just go, I can't tell you right things about this. And that's how I stay right, because I'm 100% right that I can't tell you right things about it. So I just be quiet. I'm not one of those know-it-alls. Those guys are very popular. They oh, I'm very right about everything. I'm an expert on all the topics. I just don't do that. That's a very stupid way to live. Good Morning says, Yo Math, how far back do you think World War II set us in terms of our interpretations of science? Something of our roles in each other's lives and differences. I don't really understand the question, how far it set us back in what, but definitely the way that we view the world has been distorted since World War II. And I think that it's caused a lot of damage. Like, I think, you know how they have those graphs of like the damage done by the Dark Ages, right? And then we start going like this, and they go, well, we could have advanced like that. And so this is the missing part. That's not really accurate, but I think World War II was similar to that. I think the amount of good stuff that we could have had in our world, if it wasn't for the fallout of World War II and how it kind of damaged our thinking, and like it turned everyone into James Lindsay, basically. Like he's still operating on that post World War II thinking, like we have to view people differently, and no, we don't. We really don't. We have to view them accurately. So if this is all the good stuff we could have had in the world, I think that post-war consensus, they call it, probably took like that much of it. We've been wasting our money. We have been not using our money to create good things, and we've been wasting it on things that bring nothing but pain and suffering and stupidity. I think it did a lot of damage. Wayne Moore says, wife left 20 months ago, bad way. Bad way? You mean like in a bad way? Didn't love myself. Now I do obsess with fitness. Turned down 10 girls. Slipped once last week. Slipped once? What does that mean? Stupid. Reviewed your YouTube. Reproved basics. Stayed stoic. Relationship. Don't fit my plan. I'm not sure if there's a question in there, Wayne. Wife left 20 months ago. Didn't love myself. Obsessed with fitness. Turned down 10 girls. Slipped once. Reviewed my YouTube. Something. Basics. Stayed stoic. Relationship. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying, Wayne. It sounds, like you went through a hard time and you're trying to fix it. That's what I'm picking up from that. And, keep going. Do what you know is right and become more impressive and more valuable to others. That's all I can say to that one. Okay. This one's, I guess, not that crazy for a public live, because I think the fan funding is, I think those are done. Tia Nina, good to see you again. Kristen, good night. Good to see you. Not your lack of attractiveness, your character. If you rely on money for your confidence, you are a loser. I think you're probably responding to someone there, but yeah, you definitely can't rely on money for attractiveness. They don't like it. Women don't like it. They don't look at money and go, ooh, that's hot. They just want you to be hot and have money. I took someone on a really good date last year. It was so much fun. Like having the money to do it and being able to go, no, get another one. I've never done that before. Like this was my life until age 40. And then like this is age 40. Get another one. I insist. Ellie, how come I'm always in the right place at the wrong time? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you elaborate? What does it mean to be in the right place at the wrong time? When did that happen to you? You're probably just perceiving it that way. Like, that's almost definitely just a perceptual filter that you have built in. Like, why do I always get the bad conditions? And you do get bad conditions sometimes, but not always. Like, nobody always gets bad conditions. PMG Silver, finally caught alive. Great info. Thank you. 10 Rays Tube. Patrick J. Buchanan's book, Death of a Superpower, describes what America lost fighting the world wars. Yeah, it's insane. The amount of money that we had to spend to rebuild Europe, and then what we've spent afterwards being the world police. That just isn't our business. It's not our business to do that. We've really got to get our government back. Jose says, I think guys need to practice martial arts more often. Yeah, I recommended that on formerly Twitter. I don't like calling it X. It's so silly. I recommended that. Like, if men don't know how to be physically threatening to other men, women are not going to respect you. You can't just be like a little weenie. You have to be able to do something. Even if you are small, you have to at least be clever or competent or have something that provides power. Like, it's power that women are looking for. And one form of power is just being physically strong, and another is knowing what to do. Yeah, we live in a culture that doesn't value that. We just go, I'll call Uber Eats. Someone else will do everything for me. But then what's the point of being alive? If you are not a thing that does things, and other people or technology does things for you, then what are you? You're an Oreo bucket? You're just an absorber of Dorito flavoring? You have to be able to do things. See if there's any more. There's a few. Okay. Efficacy equals power. Yeah, being able. It's ability. Competence is the word that I used. Competence. You have to be competent at something that she values. It can just be music and humor and intelligence, but you have to be competent. Like, you can't be dumb and weak and, like, no, just no one likes that. What do you think about the fact this is a Chinese character? What is this? 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, I think. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what the hell that is. But that says, what do you think about the fact that if 100 IQ is the average of the population, but most of the population is lower? Well, measuring IQ is kind of silly because 100 is just always the average. So if everyone gets dumber, then they just redo the average. I think we should have unchanging measures, like the levels, like concrete operations, formal operations. I think we should have solid measures of intelligence. But I mean, I don't know how to answer your question. Like, IQ has been going down. More dumb people have been born. Which is like one of the biggest problems in the world. Can people who believe in organized religion rise above level 5 thinking? Yeah, they can, ZB, but they view it differently. So when you move from level 4 to level 5, most people usually stop believing in what they call mythical literalism. Mythical literalism, and that is like Noah's Ark, for example. If your brain is entirely limited to level 4, then you would think Noah's Ark is like a history lesson, and that they actually put all the animals on the boat and that it was literal. When you move on to level 5, you go, well, this is not possible to put all the animals on a boat, so it must have meant something metaphorically. They put something on a boat. They put something somewhere. They stored something in some way. But it doesn't mean that you give up on all the aspects of the religion. So like, you can still like go to church and pray and do holidays, even though your belief changes from like Santa is real to Santa is a metaphor for behaving yourself. You can still do all that stuff. Tanvi, member for 2 months. Thank you for being here. In a relationship, should you always express maladaptive emotions, or is it sometimes better to process them on your own to avoid unnecessary conflict? How do you know when to speak up versus stay quiet? That's a really good question. You have to discuss your emotions that are causing problems for you or for the relationship. If you're experiencing an emotion that you know is maladaptive, and you know that it's like, okay, I'm feeling this thing, but it's not helpful and I don't want to validate it. If you can deal with it by yourself, you don't need to say anything. But if you're dating someone who can handle it, like someone who's intelligent and who understands that you feeling or expressing an emotion doesn't mean that you're starting a fight, then you can say things like, let me see if I can draw the emotions. You can say something like, sometimes I feel like being in a relationship is stopping me from enjoying my youth or having my destiny or something. Sometimes I just feel that way about you and about us and about this. And if you were to say something like that to somebody who is not emotionally intelligent and someone who cannot, handle conversations like that, they might hear you saying that you don't want to be in the relationship anymore. Whereas what you are really saying is, I just kind of want to let you know I'm feeling this so that you can respond to it. Like, I want the relationship to work, so I'm telling you about my feelings that go against it. And then you get somebody who can help you with those feelings. But I was in a relationship once where I told my girlfriend about these maladaptive feelings. And she never, ever, ever understood it this way. Like, I was asking for help. I would say, I feel things like this about you. And she would go, well, you're a piece of crap that. You shouldn't be feeling that. That means we're not meant to be together. So with her, the answer was never. I should never have said that to her. I just, I treated her like she was more mature than she was. So if you think that it's going to be taken well, like if you think it can be you plus boyfriend, against the emotion, then do that. But if you say it and you think he's going to perceive it as is you put plus boyfriend against. If you're going to say it and you think he's going to perceive it as, oh, this is directed at me, and so now I'm fighting with you, then, then you can't say it. In order to say those things out loud, you have to say them to somebody who is capable of understanding that you want to be on the same side against the emotion you're feeling, rather than if you say something and then they feel attacked and fight with you about it. That's a more grown-up way of dealing with those things. Not a lot of people are capable of it, but you know who you are dating, so that's your call. And, of course, if you think it'll make him feel bad and it's not going to help, then there isn't any reason to bring it up, really. Emily. About becoming the world's police, Rudyard Kipling warned USA in poem The White Man's Burden. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. It's meant as bitter sarcasm. You will get it. Libs think it is pro-imperialism. Yeah, I've heard of that. He was talking about how basically Western countries took on this role of taking care of the whole world, and that's not a good idea. And some people interpret it without that criticism, and they just go, yeah, we've got to go help everybody, help them. We gotta go help all the people who don't want it and are not grateful, and then so that they can set Los Angeles on fire. Yeah, that's a good insight. Venomous Panda. If you're a man that has a high body count and realize it's not very good, is it wrong to filter for girls with low body counts? No, it's not wrong. You just, you watch the table again. Self-max 4. You have to remember that you are, like, who you are and what your past is part of what you bring to the table. There's good things and bad things here. I don't have the printout. Maybe I could open it. Let me go get it. I got organized recently, so all my stuff is in order. Packets. The table. The table. Okay, let me do this screen. There we go. So you have to put positive and negative things on the table, and you have to say, well, what I bring is this body count, right? And that gives me this way of feeling and this way of being. That's a need to bring, right? Like that's here whether you want it or not. And then whoever is on the other side of the table will put that in the, oh, I like a man with a high body count, or it would be nice but you don't have to, or I don't care, or like I don't like that, right? Sometimes you have something that the other person doesn't like, but you still have to consider it. You have to see what you're putting on the table and how they feel about it. And even if that's a negative, like you're never going to like everything about a person. So you don't have to feel bad about filtering in that way. But you do have to be aware that probably more women will feel orange or red about it than feel yellow or green. And you have to be realistic about like what limits that's going to bring you. That's all. You don't have to stop filtering. You just have to, if you meet a lot of girls who say, well, I can't deal with that, well, then stop filtering. But I don't think it's that big of a deal for men. I wouldn't worry about it. That particular thing. Video on choosing signals? I don't know what a choosing signal is. I gotta look that up. 5002. Is that a new word? Is that the new narcissism? $2 months. Oh, that was Tanvi. For the new page. I don't know what that means, but thank you. The Great Grapist. I can dumbbell bench press 120 pounds each hand for 3 reps. I don't know if girls really care about you doing that at the gym. Some of them will. That's definitely like, that's about the maximum that I ever did, I think. 120 dumbbell in each hand for 3 reps, 240. Yeah, that's probably about the maximum that I ever did. And I was pretty big. So, yeah, girls will like that. I don't know if you can necessarily do it in front of them at the gym and then just go, "Did you see that?" But some of them might notice. For sure, plenty of girls like that, even if they say they don't. Alex Fonov says, women, kids, cats, and dogs loved unconditionally. Men on condition of status, what he can provide. Well, that's a table thing too. Like, what people don't understand about that is kids and cats and dogs also have a table. This is just universal. Let me switch. It's just universal. So if the cat is over here and a person is over here, or a kid or a dog, it's like, well, being around you, just I'll be here and be a cat, right? And it's like, well, that's great. I want that. And so I will bring food and shelter, and that's the exchange. And for kids and cats and dogs, them just existing, just saying like, I will be here and you can take care of me, people feel positively about that for kids and pets, but they don't feel positively for that about men. So it's not conditional and unconditional. It's just that men need to be adding things more than subtracting things. Women, kids, and pets their existence can be part of what they bring, but not so much for men. So it's not conditional, unconditional. It's just that the conditions are different. Dumbbell press. Samantha Shearing, 37 years old, separated after 14 years. That sounds like a lot. 2 young kids, co-parenting well, but I feel so lost in my life. Studying hasn't worked out. How can I figure myself out and feel whole again? Career change? Well, think to the end of your life, and what do you want to be in it? Do you know what that is? Like, what when you say that you feel lost, figure out what it is that would make you found. With Selfmax, I'll write it down here. Selfmax.ai, which is designed to help you solve these problems. I broke it down into 8 sections, 8 categories. And one of them is like fun, and one is family, and one is career. And what I have you do, the exercise called life storming, is you fill these up with like all different things that you might want. And it is pretty much everything that you would ever want to put in your life. And then you go through them one by one and you go, do I want to follow this? Do I want to delete it? Or do I want to go for it? And then you take those things and you add them to your goals and you start pursuing them. and you see how it feels and you see how you like it. And if it's not working out, then you go back to the drawing board. Like if you try a new career and you start going after it and it starts making you feel fulfilled, well then good job. But if you do it and you go, no, that wasn't it, just go back to the drawing board. There isn't any way that I can tell you what's going to be fulfilling for you, but I did give you a breakdown of the things that people find fulfilling for you to fill up with ideas and then pick which ideas to follow, and then SelfMax will help you follow them. It'll give you suggestions and it'll help you track it and it'll remind you how to do it too and how to change your thinking about it. So that's my answer, is that you probably should try it. Getting pretty good reviews, and we're doing upgrades soon too. Don't Hate the Flayer says, why is a high body count worse for women? It's just because a high body count increases the chances that something bad is going to happen. Infidelity. So like if this is 0 and this is 100, right? And this is 0% chance of cheating and this is 100% chance. Somebody at 0 has a certain percent chance of cheating and somebody at 100 has a higher. And somewhere around here, it kind of goes like up fast and then grows really slow. And it just increases the chances that cheating is going to happen. The higher your body count is, the more you're going to be dissatisfied with your relationship and the more you're going to want to sneak around. And if cheating does happen, if a man goes elsewhere and cheats, then the problem is here, right? Outside of the relationship. But if a woman goes elsewhere and cheats, then the problem is here inside of the relationship. That's why it's worse. Because if a man does that and he can get away from her and she's out of the picture, then everything's fine. If she stays in the picture and goes, you need to give me money and I'm going to ruin your marriage and everything, then that can be pretty bad. But that's not 100% of how it works. However, if this happens, then that's 100% of the time a big problem. That's why. That's why it works that way psychologically. Because a woman with a man who cheated might not have to suffer this problem. Might not have to. But a man with a woman who cheated will definitely have to suffer that problem. So that's why the psychology of it is different. Women care more about emotional and financial, and men care more about physical. Josh B. How does the progression of levels through history line up with the swings between masculine and feminine in culture? Are they connected? Yeah, the levels do go kind of masculine to feminine, odd and even, that's one of the reasons that I like the 9-level system, because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the dominant one right now. This is the love everybody, recognize everyone, everyone deserves equal, recognize all the different kinds of people. That's very feminine. That's where we are right now. But before that, in the 80s and, since the steam engine days, we were at level 5. And that was like, build more money, more power, more factories, grow stuff. But then before that, in the Middle Ages, it was again feminine. It was like, follow the rules, be a good person, be orderly, stay in line. We still see this today with churches. Like, there are men in Christian churches who are just like oppressed by the femininity of it, where they say just be a good person and suffer for others. And, you know, the way that they interpret what Jesus said was like, pick up your cross and follow me. The way that they interpret that is just be a cuck, basically. Just do, you know, give away things, do all the work, even if people give you nothing back, even if you just suffer and lose, just be a giver, be a supporter. That's feminine. And then before that, in like ancient Rome and pre-civilized Europe, it was all just kind of like spreading of tribes, like Genghis Khan stuff. So yeah, it does go like that. And we're here now, and it's bad. Wasp says, slept with a woman who was married when I was young, didn't know, kept doing it. Was that wrong? I mean, yeah, it was wrong. There's always some amount of like, you're doing something you know you shouldn't. And then there's also some amount of like, it's her marriage, but you're a part of it. You know, just the fact that she would have done it anyway doesn't mean that it means nothing for you to be the one that she's doing it with. You just have to select who you want to be. Everyone does bad stuff. Is that the bad stuff you want to do? You know, you want to be a problem causer. So yeah, it was wrong. Bovine, welcome. Savage Dogs says, I'm newer to your channel and really appreciate your contribution. Without thought vomiting, how can someone stop being a people pleaser? Well, start thinking about what you get from them by doing it. And like people pleasing it's based on fear, and that is the fear of being rejected. So you can do some mental gymnastics with that. Like, you have your group, right? And people ask you to pick them up at the airport or watch their kids or do whatever. And you do these things, or maybe, I don't know, it's at work and someone's like, can you do my job for me? I'm going to go get my nails done. Can you do my job? You are worried about not being welcome in the group. That's what people pleasing is about. And you can, if it's true at all, you can just remember that like being a people pleaser can also get you kicked out of the group if it makes you weak and unreliable, and if it turns you into someone who doesn't have anything to offer. Turning yourself into a stronger person can actually make you more desired by the group. But yeah, you have to start with the idea that being a people pleaser comes from fear of rejection, and then deal with that. You might actually get more rejected by being a people pleaser. And you also have to think about your own life and where's your own life going to go if you continue doing that. If you spend all of your life and your energy on doing stuff for other people, then what's your life going to be, and what are you going to get? But also, like, maybe being a people pleaser isn't preventing you from being pushed out of the group. People don't really respect them, especially when they're men. You don't want to be a pushover. It's the time of day where my air conditioning gets cold. I don't know why that happens. I have it set on the same... I have one of these old air conditioning boxes that has like a slit with the little red indicator. And I have to push it up to 80 or it gets too cold. And for some reason at night, it just starts getting too cold anyway. Make yourself indispensable, yeah. Question, I'm a woman. I've always wondered how to be sure I will not lose respect, get icked out by my future husband. What is going on there? Well, you can't be sure of it. like you just have to pick a guy who you think is not very likely to do that. And then when it happens anyway, because, you know, there's always going to be, you're always going to like get tired of each other and everything like that. Then you have to be a grown up about it and like wait for it to go away. So instead of worrying about it, just be happy with your choice. Just think about, again, like time is something that people forget about a lot. When you meet him and decide to start the relationship, and you haven't felt that way yet, like you have to think into the future. Like, how often is it going to go below the ick line? Like, is it going to, because it's going to happen sometimes. And then when you get down here, you have to remember that that might change too. So don't worry, like, don't worry about what might happen here. And think instead about, like, did I pick someone who is not very likely to do that or not? And be happy with that choice. Because that's all that you can know, is you have the clues that you have. Like, is this a guy that you respect? And does he have a long history of doing respectable things? Because if so, he'll probably continue. And then you don't have to worry about the dips, because they'll come and go. And, you know, when people get like 50, 60 years old, they're icked out by each other anyway. Nobody gets married at 24 and still, like, has sex all the time when they're 50. It just stops. Marriage is just hard. You have to put a lot of your, you know, dreams and desires away in favor of the stability and the, like, that kind of love starts out big and goes down and then stays like that forever. And then this kind of love starts out like this and grows over time. So you have to start valuing that more. Mr. Speaker, welcome. Mr. Manta says this is members only. No, it was supposed to be. I thought I set it up to be members only, but then it was now it went public. Sorry. Such a mess. Do members only. Okay, I'll do members only. I think I'll switch now. Mika says, you seem like a nice guy. I want to make you dinner. Keep doing what you do. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I can fly you out to make me dinner. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the members only since I promised it. Can I switch to members only? Moderation, reactions, community. I don't know how to do that from here. Let me take a look. Keep it open for Twizzy. Don't switch now. You'll get more subs if you keep this one open. I don't know. I've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. Have to end the live and restart. Okay, I see. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. That's good enough. Thank you for being at the live. And I'll see if I can do a quick members only one for members. All right.